Well, I think that just like the beginning of life, the ending of life is sacred. And anything that's sacred is worth time and attention.
A doula is often hired to help pregnant women bring life into the world. But there is another service gaining popularity called death doulas, helping people as they prepare to leave the world.
Tonight, we're speaking with a local end-of-life doula and a family about why that support is so valuable.
If you were to ask me, how did I get into this work, I would say, I didn't really get into this work. This work chose me.
Laura Hoekstra has known a life of loss.
I myself had a toddler when my husband died, and so I am used to life, day-to-day living and talking about death.
Widowed at a young age and later serving as caregiver as her parents died, she's found purpose after all the pain.
It was through those times that I really began to develop a skill set and also realize the huge need for this kind of support.
Hoekstra is an end-of-life or so-called death doula. Like a birth doula at the beginning of life, a death doula offers non-medical comfort care, a supportive advocate as people face what can be a scary and uncertain time.
Our goal is to help people have the best death possible. We can't guarantee that, of course, but when people think about this before it is happening, we find that makes it much easier for everyone.
From diagnosis to death, Hoekstra assists with funeral pre-planning, bereavement support, and legacy work, filling the gaps between healthcare and hospice, which offers medical support when one is dying.
Many people wait too long. They don't realize that end-of-life care, hospice included, is meant to make your remaining days as good as they can be. It's not a death sentence. In fact, it's not a death sentence to talk about death.
Her years of grief work leading Hoekstra to retire last December, undergo training, and launch a business, Grace in the Leaving, serving the greater Grand Rapids area.
Grace in the Leaving means this is what I want to help my clients. I want to help them have an end of life that is both meaningful and it's something that everyone should have. Everyone should have access to this.
Robin Owens agrees.
I just love the thought of having a doula and having life as we leave this earth and birth into a new life. It's perfect.
She reached out to Hoekstra on behalf of her Aunt Joyce, who's dealing with heartache, the loss of 3 sisters, and husband just 2 years ago, along with her own declining health.
It's just comforting to know that, there's somebody that cares.
Both aren't ignorant to what the future will bring.
I love my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I know I'll be in heaven sometime.
But are glad to have a doula's support to navigate the next chapter.
Because there's some anxiety that goes with it, too. So you have grief of loss and you have anxiety, like, what should we do here? So she has been very helpful with that.
Hoekstra never could have imagined how the sad times would shape her life, leading to a new career. But she hopes people won't shy away from talking about dying and, more importantly, being prepared for death.
Birth and death, they're the 2 things that we all have in common. They're the 2 things that we know we won't escape. We'll be born and we'll die. And we don't need to be afraid of that. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want this all to end? I would like to see people focus more on that, and I'd like to help them do that.
Now, as far as costs go, because that is the big question, Hoekstra says that many doulas charge by the hour, anywhere from $25 to $100, and says that families can contract for as much or as little time as they need. She says she'd eventually like to see doula work covered by insurance. So what does it take to become a death doula? According to the International End-of-Life Doula Association, you don't need to have any prior clinical training. You just need to be a compassionate person who feels a calling for this type of work. Depending on the training program that you choose, many are virtual. You'll have to pay a fee and complete a certain number of sessions or hours. Hoekstra tells us she completed about 24 hours of training altogether. Certification is voluntary, and keep in mind that doulas are self-regulated, meaning there's no local or federal authority that oversees the training and certification programs.
Such a powerful perspective to have, and maybe a valuable resource for somebody out there, because death is something so difficult to talk about.
And Hoekstra hoping to change that and, prepare people for the end, because like she said, everyone will be born and everyone will die.
Okay. All right.